You are beautiful. You are strong. You are love. You deserve to have the life you desire. It doesn't matter what others say about you. It's about what you say about you. You are worthy. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, You Are What You Think. I'm doing an interview today with my Aunt Arissa via FaceTime because I couldn't figure out any other way that worked perfectly for this interview. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoy the content, hearing about her business, how she got started, what motivated her, and what keeps her going today. Stay tuned and you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone. So there were a couple of complications with the video recording, and so I was only able to get a few minutes of the video recording. However, I was able to capture the entire audio of the interview, so you'll see some pictures pop up in the mix of the recording and all that good stuff, but the information is still very good. So I hope that you all watch the entire video and really take in all the information that's being said, as well as checking out the description for my aunt's website and the conference that she has coming up. I believe it's on March 10th of this year, 2021. Arissa, and she's going to be answering some questions, letting you all know about her business, Arissa Elamin Consulting. And so, Auntie, I'd like for you to tell everyone why it is you started your business.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. I think you have a great YouTube channel, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Let's see. I started my business out of a desire to share my gifts and talents with my community and the world, and to be able to help others. I've had my business and been an entrepreneur for several years, and as you know, I grew up in a family-owned business. So your grandparents, my parents, have had a printing business in Detroit for a number of years on Dexter, called Instant Impressions Printing. And so as children, we were the employees. Right? They had 7 children, and we were all their employees from probably the time we could, really walk and talk and help out. So, watching my father and when my mother joined him, my parents run a business, and people all around our community having businesses and using their talents encouraged me to do that as well. I grew up with an idea of self-determination. And so I have had a variety of work experiences beyond working in a family-owned business. But after I graduated from Michigan State and then later went on to graduate school, I realized that not only could I share my gifts with my employer, but also with others. So when I moved to Charlotte with my husband and we were ready to start a family, I knew I wanted some flexibility. One of my job opportunities here was supporting and helping small businesses. So I worked with them to create business plans, and while I was supporting small businesses, it gave me ideas to do that as well. And so I had a number of businesses over the years. I sold pound cakes. I wrote business plans for others outside of my day job. I also, I know what I wanted to say. I did some graphic designing. So, growing up in a printing business and also with a degree in advertising, the visual arts and being able to kind of share your message through graphics and graphic design was an interest of mine as well. And so I created logos for friends and even my dentist, and just really wanted to use and practice all of the skills and talents that I have. My company now is centered around coaching and consulting. But my first company was called Circle Communications, and with that business, I did group facilitation, training, continued on with the graphic arts and public relations. And so right now, my interest is really focusing on supporting individuals and in terms of how they want to show up and provide their services to their client or their community.
Okay, that's really good. Sounds like you were very savvy, a little bit of a hustler, selling pound cakes. Okay. And so, can you let everyone know what kind of consulting you provide?
Sure. So the consulting services that I provide support small to medium-sized businesses as well as nonprofit organizations. I do a lot of work around helping them clarify what they want to focus on and offer. So, for example, with nonprofit organizations, I help them with strategic planning. And so strategic planning is useful not only for nonprofit organizations, but for any size organization, and even someone in their family life. Strategic planning involves identifying what your vision is, what your goals are, and what your objectives are, and then creating action for your life. In addition to that, I work with women specifically, but also men and women around identifying their vision. So I do vision planning sessions and group online training courses. I provide opportunities for them to clarify how they want to represent themselves in the world. And later on, we can talk a little bit more about the coaching that I provide.
Okay, that sounds great. And I want to actually ask you, have you had any difficulties throughout the years that might have had you question, should I keep doing this business? Is it worth it? I'm tired. I can't do this. Were there any conflicts that was like, oh my gosh, why am I still doing this? But you kept going anyway.
Well, that's a really good question. I think sometimes when businesses start out, or people who know they want to be entrepreneurs start out, they, like I mentioned, do a little bit of everything, And what I learned is that, and what I'm still learning, is how important it is to, while you can be multi-passionate, learn to focus in on the areas where you have the most strengths. So when I've had difficulties, it's probably been more around trying to do everything. So in some cases, working a full-time job and then working the business outside of those hours, and being a wife and raising children. And a lot of times, if you don't take care of yourself, it can seem like a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like with anyone, being able to prioritize but not forget yourself. I recognize, so this past year, and even really when COVID started, I really wanted to focus on meditating and practicing breathing exercises, and being focused in on prayers and meditation and.
Auntie, you don't even want to know. It messed up a little bit during that answer.
Oh, well, I can. I'll just add to that in case you are able to do a little bit of editing. But I would say that I think really, whether you're talking about being the best, whatever role you play, being the best you can be, is making sure that you take care of yourself, making sure you know know what you have to offer. You know yourself, right? Mm-hmm, exactly. So being able to really be clear on what your strengths are, what your skills are, and your big why. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you wanting to be an entrepreneur? Why are you balancing so many things and also being an entrepreneur? Because that'll keep you going.
Right.
It's about helping to solve problems for other people, whether it's through a product or through a service, or like me with consulting and coaching, being able to understand why.
Okay. That's amazing. I love that answer because you talked on so many things that I'm always about. I'm like, you always have to meditate, you have to take care of yourself, you have to love yourself, and you'll just prosper from there, whether it's with business, personal, relationship. Great. I love it.
Exactly.
And so I want to ask you, have you had any difficulties within your business during COVID-19?
This time for my business has been an opportunity for me to refocus on my business, on my why. I've spent time working on my branding. My website is up, arissaelamin.com, arissaelaminconsulting.com, and I have time to continue to tweak that. So sometimes entrepreneurs, they'll get some of those things set up and they'll run off and working with so many clients and things like that. But they don't always get a chance to revisit the structure of their business. And so while work has slowed down a little bit, I've been able to use that time to focus on making my business stronger. I do have a couple of clients, and I also have opportunities to facilitate sessions for, like I said, around vision planning, working with nonprofit organizations, and also being able to support some of the universities that I've worked with over the years. I don't know if you know this. You may know. So I used to teach at UNC Charlotte.
Never knew that.
That's a university here in Charlotte. And I also taught at the community college level. Well, they recently invited me back to support an effort that's coming up on March 10th. It's the Women and Girls Research Alliance, and they are having a summit on March 10th. So I will be one of the moderators. So I enjoy moderating and facilitating, and this opportunity gives me a chance to help us learn more about the pay gap that women experience. There are a number of great speakers, and so I get to do more things like that. But I am certainly open to new coaching clients, new consulting clients, and I'll make sure that you get my information so you can share it as well, because the great thing is, since we're all virtual, my clients can be from anywhere.
Exactly.
So, and I've had clients from as far away as Madagascar.
Oh, wow.
And so in any state, in any country, as long as we have Wi-Fi connection, I can connect with them to support them in reaching their goals.
That's
good. The things I've talked about is being able to expand the number of coaches that my company connects with. And so I may be having another coach join me, and so that we can take on some more clients. So I work with men and women and groups and organizations. So I do group coaching, but I also do individual coaching, and I do consulting. So yeah, we can do a part two, because I'm a talker. So I know more about business in general and also my business specifically. So what questions do you have, or do you think your audience might have around being an entrepreneur, or the strengths and skills it takes to share your offerings with others?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people know that if you're in the business for people, that there's always money there, and it's such a good opportunity to be able to help others, like, all over. Services, I feel like, are a super high demand all over the world, because people always need assistance with a variety of different things, and so I feel like services will always be a need no matter what's going on, because the world's constantly moving, evolving, growing, changing, and people are always needed. So I think you really touched on it very well, that people definitely need assistance when it comes to growing businesses, and even coming up with business ideas to help shape what it is they want to see their business and which direction they want to see it go and grow.
Right. I'm glad you said that, because I was just thinking about coaching and how the idea that even coaches need coaches.
Exactly.
I have experience in a variety of areas, but just like athletes, in order to get to that next level as an athlete, they have a coach to be able to help them see things or do things that they might not be able to see themselves. So I have a coach that I work with, well, actually several trying to get to this level, and I'm reading books and I'm, studying things, but what is going to help me get to the next level? And sometimes it's someone else who's just talking you through blocks, challenges, and really the wisdom. Even when you have a coach or a consultant, the wisdom actually comes from you and your organization. So a coach does not wave a magic wand and, voila, your problems are all solved. The coach really helps you to mine the gold, to ask you questions, to get you to commit to goals that you've set, and can challenge you. But really the work has to be done by oneself in order to get to that next level. So I would encourage you, even if you, don't work with me, if you work with someone else, whether it's a business coach, whether it's a performance coach, a mindset coach, there are a lot of different types of coaches. So make sure that you ask questions to get the best coach for you. Ask them what kind of training they've taken. There's a variety of training that's out there. And some of it could be through experience. But also you want to know what you want out of connecting with a coach. And you also want to know what experiences they've had to help them get to where you are. So, for example, if you are struggling with confidence and you work with a coach around, helping you accomplish goals around confidence, you might ask them experiences that they've had overcoming obstacles and, opportunities or things that they've done around training others on increasing their self-esteem and confidence, things like that. Those are just a few tips.
Great. That makes a lot of sense. And I feel like that's very good information. I have one more question that I like to ask you in closing, and that is, where would you like to see your business in the future?
Oh, that's a great question. So I would like to expand my business so my goal is to offer group coaching, online group coaching, to also attract more to my online training that I'll be offering more of this spring and summer. I would also like to expand my reach to, internationally. So to be intentional about not only the clients that I attract from other countries, but also to be able to travel to other countries and, when things open back up again, be able to offer retreats and workshops in other countries and other experiences for not only myself, but also the people that I work with. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Maybe we could, travel.
I was going to say, I'm looking forward to it too, because, I like to travel.
Yes. Maybe we can get a group together and travel to Jamaica or somewhere and do, a day-long or weekend retreat. I'd love to do that.
That sounds so fun. I'm down. We got to plan it for sure.
Sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I know that everyone enjoyed hearing about your business and that you're going to be getting a lot of clients from this interview. I'm going to actually have your information and everything we talked about in the description below so people know how to contact you at your website, and the information involving where you'll be participating. I think you said in March at that conference. Is it going to be at the university?
It's March 10th. It's virtual. It's
okay.
The Women and Girls Research Alliance 2021 Summit. And
okay.
So I'll share that information so that your listeners can register and attend.
Okay. And I do have a question. Is that event free, or how much is it?
It is.
Oh, it is? Oh, see, everyone loves free things. I'm going to be there for sure. Okay. Thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I look forward to doing this again sometime.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for watching the whole video. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you all so very much. I know that there's a lot that people go through within their lives, and I appreciate every time that you give to my channel and watching the content, giving me feedback. I hope that you all are thriving within this new year of 2021. Remember that you create your own destiny. Peace and love until next time. Live well.